Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The next chapter is called the funeral rites. The Arabic word is al-janaiz. The singular form is janaza, which denotes a dead body. Another derivative of the word is jinaza, which means a funeral bier. The author begins the section by saying, "It is religiously obligatory to call the deathly ill person to repentance of sins, sincere adherence to the rights of Allah the Exalted, and sincere adherence to the rights of creation immediately. If the sick person was openly disobedient and a major sinner, it is obligatory to call such person towards repentance. However, if the sick person was an average Muslim, it would be recommended to call such person towards repentance at his or her deathbed. This command to call the sick person towards repentance follows the preconditions of commanding the good and prohibiting the evil. One must be certain or be somewhat sure that calling the deathly ill person would have the desired effect and not lead to a greater harm. Otherwise, calling such person to repentance would be prohibited. Repentance refers to the regret and remorse one feels regarding the avoidance of a religious obligation and the performance of a major or minor sin. It is also the firm determination to never return to it again. Similarly, in the case of a deathly ill person, if he or she regrets the sin out of fear of Allah's punishment, such would be considered sound repentance according to us. As for the call towards the rights of Allah, such person must be asked regarding any missed obligations such as prayers, fasts, pilgrimages, and the like. If there are, such person must see to those obligations. In the case of sincere rights to creation, it refers to those things that one owes others, such as loans, expiations, and the like. Such person must observe those obligations and ensure that they are carried out after his or her death. The author then says, if one is unable to carry out all of the aforementioned obligations before his or her death, either by oneself or by proxy, he or she must be responsible for bequeathing a will, so that those things are done after one's death. Such bequest must be witnessed. We will discuss the issue of bequeathing a will in more detail in the bequest section, inshallah. The author states that it is also incumbent that the one on his or her deathbed be urged to pronounce the testimony of faith at the time that one fears the immediate approach of death. He or she must be encouraged to repeat it until one is no longer able. It is also encouraged that one mentions death to the person on their deathbed, as well as the love to meet Allah. The person must be urged to be patient with the pain. Although not mentioned in this text, it is stated in the text Al-Azhar and the Taj that it is recommended to lay the deathly ill person on his or her back so that the feet face the Qibla. After the person finally dies, one is to close the person's eyes because it is recommended that the death be in the most beautified presentation. One must also straighten and lay any limbs or joints that may be sticking up. One can fold the person's arms, for example. The author then says, whenever someone dies, they must be hastily prepared. That is, the dead must be washed, shrouded, prayed over, and buried that same night or day without delay. The exception to the rule about hasty preparation include the drowned victim, the mutilated, the poisoned, or the one with leprosy. The preparation of these corpses must be delayed. Although not mentioned in this text, the texts Al-Azhar and the Taj mention the process of preparation of the dead pregnant woman. If the dead woman is pregnant, one is to remove the dead fetus. The one who does that must be one who is permitted to look at her body.